Assalamu alaikum students. Today's lecture is about communication systems in embedded systems. Why embedded systems have special communication architecture? So the main purpose is to communicate with outside world, such as input side and output side. On input side we have sensors, and on output side we have hardware to drive, to indicate, or to decide. Hence they need special communication architecture and protocols. So we will look at some types of communication systems and protocols in embedded systems. So again we're discussing same diagram. Here we have input side as sensing stage and output side as data transmission stage, and our communication main hardware is Arduino or Raspberry Pi. Now, types of communication in embedded systems. Number one is synchronous communication. It's a data transfer method in which a continuous stream of data signals in form of digital data 10 digital signals is accompanied by timing signals generated by the clock. Clock signal actually drives the processing cycle, either read or write cycle. Now the timing signals are used to ensure that the transmitter and the receiver are in step synchronized with one another. Mean to say both are working together. If timing cycle is defined for 1 second, then transmitter and receiver side will follow this guideline of 1 second. It will perform the operations within that time limit. Now, types of communication. Second type is asynchronous communication. It is type of transmission of data method that works without the use of any external clock. Here we are independent of any clock signal. The time is variable. It can be decreased, it could be increased. So here data can be transmitted occasionally rather than in a steady state manner or steady stream. Once data received, it will be transmitted. Now, style of communication. For serial communication, it is a process of sending data one bit at a time sequentially over a communication channel. So if you have a stream of 10 bits, then it will transmit first bit, then second bit, third bit, up to 10 bits. Second is parallel type of communication. In parallel communication device, it sends data in multiple bits to the same direction. If you have parallel type of communication, you can transmit 10 bits at a time. For example, if we have serial communication and we have 10 bits, then it will take time for all 10 bits one by one. And for the case of parallel communication, it will take same time, or you can say equal time, in a parallel way. Mean to say all 10 bits are transferred at the same time. So here time could be saved. So this diagram can tell you how it is performing. Upper diagram shows that data is transmitted one by one, and lower diagram shows that data is transmitted all together. Types of communication. These four types of devices are used: UART, SPI, I2C, and JTAG. UART is Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. It means it will communicate, it receives data, and it could transmits the data. It can communicate in both directions. So it stands for Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. It's not a communication protocol but a physical circuit in a microcontroller. So UART main purpose is to transmit and receive the serial type of data. Mean to say it could transmit data one by one, bit by bit. So it could transmit data asynchronously, which means there is no clock signal to synchronize the output. Now here in this case, instead of clock signal, the transmitting UART adds start and stop bits to the data packet being transferred. Start bit initiates and stop bits actually terminates the transmission of data. So these bits define the beginning and end of the data packet, so the receiving UART knows when to start reading the bits and when to stop. So here you can see how sender UART communicates with receiver. Here if you look at here, it transmits data from TX transmission bit to transmission pin to receiving pin, and after receiving the UART2 sends the signal to send the next bit. So it will inform from TX to RX, and then again next bit will be transmitted from TX to RX. In this way all bits are transferred between two UARTs. So this is the structure of UART. It is the interface on the upper side. Here you can see transmission and receiving point. These are points based on circuitry, and this is the microcontroller used in this chip. So this is the interfacing IC. Here you can see the receiving bit, receiving pin and transmission pin, and this is the other side of this IC. So this transmission pin will be connected with the receiving pin, and it will actually communicate that when we transmit data from here to receiving end, then the transmission pin will send signal to the receiving pin that send other or next bit. In this way this process continues till end. So this IC actually represents the Bluetooth device used for data transmission. Next is SPI, Serial Peripheral Interface. It is a synchronous serial communication interface specification used for short distance communication in embedded systems. So these devices communicate in full duplex mode, which means that data can be transferred in both directions at the same time. Full duplex means you can transmit or receive data in both directions. If you only transmit from one side and you can receive from other side, then it will be known as half duplex mode. So it is used to send data between microcontrollers and small peripherals such as shift registers, sensors and SD cards. Now remember that SPI is also a hardware circuit inside microcontroller, just like a UART. So SPI is synchronized or clocked communication as compared to UART. So it is used where synchronization is normally required. So synchronization actually improves the efficiency of the overall systems. It means that all the parts of the systems will have to follow some protocol, some communication protocol, some communication time period, or some communication related to clock signal. So here is the microcontroller used in this SPI circuit, and you can see the pins related for communication here. Just like look here, multiple output single input, multiple input single output. Next is I2C and JTAG. I2C is inter-integrated circuit, pronounced I2C, is a synchronous serial bus used for attaching lower speed peripheral ICs to processors and microcontrollers in shorter distance. So intra-board communication is also done by this circuitry. JTAG is a common hardware interface that provides microcontroller with a way to communicate directly with the chips within the board. Here you can see a JTAG. Here you can see the lines. Every line is separate here. If you need to find some fault, then you can check the signal at all lines one by one. So the missing line will indicate there is some fault. So that's all about today's lecture. Now you need to find out some research paper that works on the principle on the communication protocols related to IoT. That's all for today.